the XP lane. Ling, on the other hand, right, in the jungle, that is once again very similar to a Fanny, right? It's high risk, high reward. You have to be able to secure your purple buffs. You have to be able to secure your early jungle rotations if you really want to shine here on this lane. The do or die match, the best of 3 between Kazakhstan and Mongolia. Whoever loses this is out of the tournament here.
Yeah, you've mentioned about the high-risk, high-reward play because of you being a Ling, you need to have that purple secured most of the times that your objective shows up. We're looking at now Ethan moving towards the mid lane, having control over the river is a bigger way of an impact for the Ling to have more recon on where the teams or players are coming from Kazakhstan. But if you're up against Baksha, well, now he's on level 3 compared to Cesar now is on level 2. On damage, on early game, Baksha is much more durable in his way as having more sustain and can coordinate with the folks like this. Void Crystal. Oh, he forced a flicker out of Ethan as well.
Already early on. Oh, gonna go in for the Astral Recall too. Not gonna be able to land it, but still great pressure. You know, this early on, able to get something out. Yeah, it didn't convert into a kill, but you at least got the flicker down from Ethan. That's gonna help him too. And even looking, you know, as we take a second here, looking at the emblem setups from what everyone go. Oh, Kashi's in trouble.
Oh, he's forced out one member out to respond here for Mongolia. Now Bebex is trying to get it for the free hits, but now he pushed out Kinesis out of that distance. Now first point goes to Mongolia. 25 seconds for the first objective, and this is just gaining control of the early game, especially in the river.
This is how we expect both these teams to play, right? Just full on against each other this early on. And mind you, that first blood kill also went over in the hands of ZXora, right? That's already probably the best start you can have on one of those high-risk, high-reward heroes. And this Ling should be able to scale up really well. This also allows you to have a better start and at least a little more confidence with the first objective takes. But you can see Kinesis, he has performed so well through the group stages up to here. He's going to go ahead and start it up.
There's the XP lane coming from Mongolia. The eyes right onto the turtle. Who's going to first objective? It's going to be Cesora taking the first one. Now on to the fight. We have a skirmish breaking out here. Tempest Blaze being used. Who's going to be the first target here for Kazakhstan? It's going to be Kashi. Falling on the hands of Cesara. Now with a follow-up here, Cesaro's fall down with a trade. Red takes another kill, but Ice is letting go of Kinesis with a slow, aiding him with a kill. Forbid takes Kinesis down. A trade of 2 to 2. Now 3 points on to Mongolia and 2 points for Kazakhstan. Coming out from the first objective fight.
Scrappy. Already, right? Game number 1 here. That's exactly what you off-camera kill to another kill going in the hands here for Kazakhstan. This one, and we saw this yesterday too, when Yuzhong gets beefed up these early kills, it's going to be great. Look at that perfect dragon form, utilizing that petrify as well earlier on, able to grab himself a kill, and he's going to continue to stack up. We've seen Kazakh play before, and it's troublesome. Usually he's on the Lapu Lapu, right? That's, I feel like, one of his signature heroes. Was that stolen? I think he was able to secure it, ZXora did. But this is going to continue on. I feel like the slugfest between these two teams, right? But when it comes to those neutral objectives, biggest thing Kazakhstan has to watch out for is the fact that you have Ethan on this Faramis. He's got the Eternal Realm ultimate ability, and then at the same time Forbid can just choose what he wants, right, from Kazakhstan. Whether that's the most likely the real world manipulation, but he might even see him take the dragon form for initiation if he decides to do that. That's what's so great about having a Valentina here.
You have a lot of ultimates to be taken out of Kazakhstan, also forcing them to use resources such as this. Void Crystal now being connected, Arsenal being placed upon Bebex. He falls down in hands of Kinesis. Ethan, look at that, used the Nether Realm right away to regen, and nobody's going down with a follow-up from Kazakhstan attack. Bebex falls down, Alim pushing down with the Ultra Turret Energy Shields out of Mongolia's defenses.
Great pickups here. Also going to result in them taking... Wow! How did Ethan just take the turtle? That was a well-timed just on his part, but the retribution was off on Kinesis there. You know, he didn't have it, so unfortunately they lose it.
Wow.
And, you know, they lose the second turtle now over in the hands of Mongolia, so... You know, you don't need, I guess, don't need a jungler right there for Mongolia.
Just having the game sense and precision of damage. Alim gonna fall down from Aizen. A 3-man engage just right down bottom, and they're not letting go. Force out the flick out of Kashi. being in the trouble zone here for Mongolia. Kinesis just is offering himself for the 3, but he's still sustaining all the damage. So tanky as well coming from Kazakhstan, but here comes the reinforced backfire, and now Mongolia falls back in their own defenses.
That's just unreal. Like, Kinesis has leg plates and a couple, a little bit of extra armor there too. And I get, how the ultimate also helps him be a little more tanky. He's got the tank emblems, but that was literally Kinesis jumping in, 1v4, 1v5 there, and living to be quite healthy after that whole exchange. So this is, again, showing possibly, in a matchup, jungler matchup here, Baksha versus a assassin jungler. He's doing pretty well. He's keeping up. He's putting pressure around the map. He might be down, a level here and there, but ultimately he's doing what he has to do. He also picks up another big item. Pickups got locked in his first item. He's still rolling with a Molten Essence as well, so now you're going to see him get a little bit more tankier to deal with all this physical damage being thrown at him.
Yeah, having the Concussive Blast as an emblem for Baksha, just being a naturally tankier dude and scales by the minute, just basing on HP, that's controlled AoE damage from most of the ultimates coming from a Baksha. As you can see, well, the lead right now is still in par, almost 400 gold lead. We have the turtle now being present, but the positioning of Aizen here, we are looking for an angle here on how will Mongolia have an entry, but so far Kinesis has eyes on the first hits on this objective. Black Dragon form though, circling around, trying to box out two members. Zorn being petrified. Now they're not able to get that objective away. Look at that Forbid. Just going around in Black Dragon form, chasing down member 1 to 2. But look at the damage coming from Aleem. Bebix might fall down. Yes, he will. Kinesis secures the kill. And now Forbid is out of the damage, but Ethan receives more of the bullets. Forbid falls down. Aleem could be on a streak here, but he decides to just clear with the minions. And that is just skirmishes coming from extra casualties from the objective state of this game.
Yeah, look at this. I was going to say, is Kazakh actually thinking about going here? But Aleem whittling away the turret just a little bit. Still, look at the attention he's taking.
Yeah, look at that. Speaking of using the appraisers rad earlier, look at the pull from Ethan. Now still holding it through, they're letting it go. But Aleem here has ultimates ready. Caesar is now forced to go back to the base. Let's head on back to that replay.
Okay, look at the replay here. Another great dragon form utilized by Kazakh there. And you saw it, right? Forbid also took it. Like I said, there's going to be situations where Forbid wants to take the dragon form, and they continue on. But the problem right now is they're lacking a little bit in the damage department, especially when you take out Bebex. Unfortunately, you don't have the damage that you need, right, on the Irithyll. Especially this, in a way, it's a little bit too early for Irithyll. She really starts to shine later on in the game.
Yeah, speaking of shining later on in the game, he has the Berserker's Fury now. Bebex has 2 deaths already. He might want to prevent this from happening, because if your stage is on the later side of the game, your teammates will rely on the extra damage, knowing that they have tools to even have for a good team fight. You have Forbid here. You could take out an ultimate from Red. The real manipulation would be so effective with the Fredrin plus the Ling. So we're going to see how this goes, but they're not giving up on something here. They might have a pick-off here. Kazakh on half HP, but Kinesis has stopped the movement of Aizen, dropping down on 50 50% HP rather. That's the shield, and Kinesis just falling and right in front of the defenses right now of Mongolia. Sustaining, being pulled by Ethan, still being the right amount of sponge, and still going right in the turn here of Mongolia. Kazakh is now taking, great amount of damage out of Mongolia as well. Now we have silenced Ethan here, and Kazakh as well is trying to secure a borderline, but Kinesis is just being in front. Still sustaining it though, but Forbid could be in trouble there. Wow!
CX.
Red with the flicker missed the kill. Now Caesar used the temple base to escape, but can he make it? No, he won't! Kinesis secures the kill!
That's a feels bad. You knew that he wanted the target there, even utilizing the Tempest of Blades, and just... Oh, that was tough to see, and that's when you're playing like that, man. There you go, Lord of Security here on top of it. They might repay though.
The damage. Forbid falls down again. Ethan just being in front, trying to pull on 2 or 3 members, but Kinesis is just right in the front, using the Turtle's Voice stance to slow them down, but their Pacer Shot will secure a point for Mongolia.
And with that, they've secured themselves the first Lord of the game here. Also, just, OSX, like I said, back in minute 1, it's going to be a slugfest here. We see it. This replay, though, is exactly, we're capturing the moment. They wanted to see it one more time. ZX Aura goes down there, but then, yeah, it gets a little messy here. Double kill for Ethan, right? But still, Bebex able to survive that too. Great job on him. At this point in the game, he's going to be somewhat of a threat, right, damage-wise, especially when we take a look at the items here in just a little bit.
Look at Aizen.
How he's building. Aizen's just on the run.
Absorbing the damage. No, just Aleem secures him.
Wow.
Now RWM right onto Ethan. That's a double for Aleem, and Kazakhstan is just continuing with this pursuit, using the Astral Recall to force out the Black Dragon form out of the distance. But man, look at the damage from Aleem.
Look at the pressure.
Even the pressure, Zizora trying to close more of the map. It's turning red as of this moment.
Great choice here from ZXORA. That's probably the best case scenario for him in some of these moments throughout the game. And this is typically what we see from Lings locked in, right? You put pressure on the side lanes when things are not going necessarily your way, especially in this portion of the game. You rely on your team just to deal with the onslaught here. He's looking for a cutoff though here.
He's looking for a pull. Tempest of Blades now has been committed by Zizora. That is a conceal. Aizen has taken out Kashi out of the equation here for Kazakhstan, trying to gain control of their own map. Just looking at the items, is now the time, or is this the time of Bebix to shine for the team, or the team fights that Mongolia can do against Kazakhstan?
Well, Bebex, he's got the Hot Claws, he's got the Berserker's Fury, and he's got the Wind Talker, right? For the most part, that should be okay, but I feel like it's still, if you're looking at especially these skirmishes and these fights, I mean, look at the tankiness for Kazakhstan, right? Especially with the front runner here, Kinesis, just being this menace, really, you know, and how this box shell works, able to soak up a lot of damage. So one of the big things is either getting through him and then avoiding Kazakh, right, on this Yuzhong, which he's been having an amazing game. He's finding the setups that he needs. He's finding the knockups with the petrified combinations on the right target, and that's what's usually forcing out at least the Nether Realm or some other response from Mongolia. Right now, relatively, it's not too far. There isn't a huge disparity between the two teams, and they're just going at it, you know, for the most part. And as we wait 15 seconds for the next Lord to come up, that's where we're going to see it again. We might see some side pressure from ZXORA as the Lord starts, because technically one of the great things about Ling is you don't actually have to be there for that Lord dance, right? You can put pressure, you can let the other opposing team start it up, whittle it down, and then kind of swoop in and swing in and hopefully, you know, get the retry win.
Yeah, I love the idea.
Here it is,
Split
they're
push.
already getting in place. A couple pokes, though, for Kazakhstan to come through. And that's one of the big things to deal with, right? The Astral Recalls coming out from Kashi, like we see, and even Aleem. So if he decides to set up, you just have to be careful here if you're Mongolia for the placement. And that's why, actually, they just fully committed the 5v5 in this area. It might come down to whoever decides to start this up first. Look at the placement here on the bottom side, and as well as who decides to maybe use a conceal, maybe find a play, but really,
whoa! Look at the damage right on the snipe shot from
poke him down
from Aleem. Poke him down. They're forced out to go back, but Bebix is on a conceal. Who's the first target here? It's going to be Kashi. They found Kashi right onto the bush, but onto the back lines. Look at that, Zizora is taken down 1, 2, Kashi falls down, 3 members dropping down. From Kazakhstan with a follow-up here, Red as well. Look at that, Zizora is on a streak and Forbid takes down Kazakh and Kinesis as well. Look at that, 5-man down right on to Kazakhstan, and from that ambush, from the back line, Zora found an opening. Right now, Mongolia onto the last port. They never say die onto the game number 1 as they take the first point against Kazakhstan.
An amazing ending there for a very close game 1. Back and forth it was. And before that all unfolded, OSX, I was saying, you know, it's going to come down to the team who decides to utilize that